I was like, I've been playing so much of the game, I want to make like gun bat where
You're just like grabbing anything you see lying around.
Oh, there's a part where you
say gun bat.
Gun bat.
That's a gun bat. Let me see. Actually,
gun bat.
This occurred to me. I already. This is like a cooking show. I already prepared one earlier, and this is idiotic. Actually, if I hit you just right, that trigger will go off and maybe shoot somebody over there.
Oh, but.
Let's do this.
The first Dead Rising took place in like Willamette at a mall. It took place at one big mall in the middle of Colorado. This one takes place in a small like Las Vegas Strip style area where there's like multiple casinos and hotels and
a big mall. So I mean, it's not that much of a departure.
Yeah.
I mean, there are malls and they're all sort of joined together. So with the casinos in between.
Yeah, the idea that instead of feeling like one really big mall, it feels like you're just walking down the strip where you see like 3 hotels in a row, plus like a mall and a casino and things like that. But sort of the first game, you have 72 hours to finish the story, and a day,
all these little storyline things
days.
that come up in between. And,
You know, so the storyline, you have 3 days to finish the game, and each day takes about 2 hours. So your first playthrough is about 6 or 7 hours, depending on how often you reload. So you play this new character named Chuck Green. He is different than Frank West from the first game.
Chucky, you made it out. After that pathetic performance you gave last night, I thought for sure they'd find you lying dead with a load in your shorts.
You're trapped in Fortress City with your daughter. You have 72 hours before the military comes to quarantine and rescue people. And on top of it, you've been framed for causing an outbreak because by the time the storyline takes place years after Dead Rising, where zombies are a normal part of society. In fact,
a normal part of the society to the point where they have like a reality TV show.
There's a whole show where it's American Gladiators versus zombies.
Well, this is America. This is what would happen if there were zombies.
It's like a bunch of people just doing a bunch of challenges to kill a bunch of zombies at once. And
I'm okay with that.
Someone triggers an outbreak where they free all the zombies from all their cages. And they completely take over
So
Fortress
it's
City.
like zombie PETA kind of.
There's Cure, like something for the, I don't remember the acronym, but it is a zombie rights organization. And so you're trying to figure out who framed you and why, in addition to keeping yourself and your daughter alive.
Who already got bit by her mom at some point,
Yeah.
which is kind of heavily implied. You got all that from Case Zero if you played it. So.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Case Zero anyway? I mean, that thing sold more than 500,000 copies.
It actually is the best indicator of whether you'll like Dead Rising 2 or not, because Case Zero is a very good micro portion of Dead Rising. Dead Rising 2, it takes place in a completely different location, but it does have many of the gameplay elements. It has fighting people, it has escorting them to safe house, it has making weapons in MacGyver style.
So it's pretty much the whole game like in microcosm.
It's compressed into like a hour. It's compressed to basically like an hour and a half to 2 hours of gameplay. So if you like what you like a Case Zero and you want more of that, but on a bigger scale, that's what Dead Rising 2 is. And Dead Rising 2 is essentially either Case Zero but bigger, or Dead Rising 1 but less frustrating.
Oh, well, looky here, if it ain't little Chucky Queen. Didn't get enough of me yet? Come back for my autograph? Oh, I bet you just get rock hard thinking about me at night, don't you, Chucky? You come to throw your panties at me?
The leveling curve in the game in general is a lot gentler than the first game. It's not quite as harsh. Like there's more save slots. You get 3 saves instead of 1 save.
That's a huge difference, actually.
Also, another thing
that really needs to be pointed out. The fact that they're not being bloody-minded about that you only have 1 save and you can cheat with a memory card kind of bullshit.
And another thing I noticed that was not in the first game was actually after every major after every major story point, it actually prompts you to save right then and there. So there's additions. So there's more save slots and there's more chances to save. In general, so that's indicative of how it's polished to be more mainstream friendly, and so it actually is generally easier. One of the big flaws in the game is the loading in general, because there's a lot. You're gonna do a lot of sitting in Dead Rising because you're gonna
bring a book.
watch a cutscene or watch a load screen, because every time you go from one part, every time you leave the mall to go to the casino, there's gonna be like a good loading screen of like 30 seconds. And it might not bother you the first time it happens, but when you actually have to go across like 3 areas, it like you actually start seeing how much you're gonna see the splash screens more often than the regular game.
This feels funny.
Frame rate is a bit shit at times. There are times where if there's a lot of zombies on screen, it'll chunk down. Anytime fire is involved, which I learned from either playing a quest where I gotta save people from a fiery room, or I hit a lot of zombies with boxing gloves that are on fire.
On fire, yeah.
All of a sudden,
or you get the hot sauce combination and you spit on them, and when you spit on them, they catch fire.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
basically all that, it just makes the frame rate start chugging. So there's like another technical issue besides the loading time that kind of interferes with the general enjoyment of the game.
It's time for Pounds of Flesh, where you have to launch as many zombies as you can onto the skate.
Especially the fat ones, but they're worth the effort. Because the fatter the zombie, the more points you get.
Oh, there's the buzzer!
Oh, I love this pot.
Red's really starting off strong.
And I also played some multiplayer over the weekend.
Yeah.
And competitive multiplayer is called Terror's Reality, the game show.
Oh,
that you
right.
are
So you're doing
on.
the American Gladiators motorcycle.
Yeah, American Gladiators. It's like,
guys.
you know, in TV terms, it's American Gladiators with zombies, and video game terms, it's Mario Party with zombies, where you play a bunch of mini games with 3 other players.
Now I want to play
And-
Mario Party with zombies.
And you play a bunch of weird little challenges, like either
Is there one with a giant hamster ball? Please tell me.
Yes.
There is?
That is one of them.
Oh.
There's like about a set of like, I don't remember the exact number. There's a set of ones, and you play 4 in a row. And there's one like you're in giant hamster balls to roll over zombies to get points.
Sold.
There's one where you actually catapult
Sold.
zombies and how many you can.
I'm already buying it.
get.
Stop.
Oh, just say, except, you know, it's a light little distraction. It's not the particularly deep multiplayer system, but it's a light little distraction. And the nice benefit is you earn money this way, and then you can take the money you
Oh,
earn
you can
back to
carry it
your
over into your single player
main game.
Oh,
So it's
nice.
actually kind of nice when something in the game costs 25 Gs, you can make 35 to 50 Gs per session of playing the multiplayer. So I would just do that and carry the money on over.
Blue pulls into the lead.
Yeah, we're seeing some domination here tonight, Don. And not the kind that you pay Mistress Veronica for.
Overall, Dead Rising 2 is like a really good and better version of Dead Rising 1 with a few additions. It still is flawed in mostly technical reasons, and also I think the psychopaths are mostly boring. I mean, they're kind
Whoever
of
gives a shit about the bosses, honestly. It's like, I have 3 shotguns. That pretty much
Yeah.
just means I win. Can you just
I mean-
check my inventory, make sure I have enough shotguns to kill this guy?
You know, they're amusing, like content-wise, but gameplay-wise, they're always is just like a guy with a pattern. You gotta wait for him to like be idle and then shoot him or hit him with a bunch of times with a weapon and move on. It's basically a pretty good game overall. It's better than the first one, except for the technical flaws. That's why I ended up giving it a B+. The game is good. It's not quite excellent, but hopefully, maybe when Capcom Vancouver now, you know, the Canadians who took over making Dead Rising, if they continue to polish and make a better version of the previous thing, like what they did with Dead Rising, maybe Dead Rising 3 will be like the definitive open world zombie fighting game.